Mr. Wright.
Yes,
Derrick
sir.
is here with us at Drum Shop. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
How did you actually get the gig with Adele?
Well, this was 2008. A friend of mine, Miles Robinson, he called me, and he was like, this young lady Adele is looking for a drummer. I think her drummer was in London or something. The drummer that she was using was in London, and he called me like, can you do a couple of days? I was like, yeah, no problem. I just got finished doing Tony Braxton in Vegas for 2 years, and I told Miles, no problem, I'll come down. It was a simple gig, and I did a couple of gigs with her, and then she called me back to do SNL, and this is when Chasing Payments was out, and we did SNL, and then I wound up just staying.
That was at the beginning.
That was at the beginning.
One of the longer time members of the band.
Yes.
And now you're playing venues that are in the tens of thousands.
Yeah, we recently did a venue in Australia. It was 100,000 people there. It was
Whoa.
amazing, just to see it go from 400, 300 people to 100,000. It's amazing. It's a blessing. It's just
No question.
It's remarkable.
And kind of a day in the life when you're on the road with somebody who is that famous, and interacting with them. I know I talked to some drummers who are more the sidemen in the band, and
Right.
I'm surprised that they rarely talk to the lead singer. They'll do the rehearsals and that, but you make this sound like it's more like a band.
Yeah, it's more so like a family because she treats everybody great. She comes to sound check. We go out to eat. It's a family, and to be on the road for almost 2 years, it has to be like that. We get together. We go out. We have fun and do things, and she's such a great person, such a down to earth person that she didn't mind going out to eat or going out to go dancing.
Hanging out.
I think we went dancing one night. It was a night. It was I think we went some type of dancing. It was amazing. It's just the whole run. It was just a great time.
And in the studio, the interaction when you're creating the music, is it something where the music director is taking mostly the lead, or do you work more like a band where you'll try a beat and see if they like it, or she'll tell you something she might want to hear in a certain place?
Right. It's so it's more so like everybody's coming together, and just putting they 2 cents in there, and Adele comes in and she knows exactly what she wants and what she wants to hear, and it's just for us to mimic those sounds and do the same thing, and we all put our pennies in a basket and just go.
And so your input is valuable and taken as a drummer. And you mentioned a little bit earlier, having an open mind is really important.
Yeah, having an open mind and just being really listening. That's the key. Listening and hearing what you can do and what sounds are the right sounds to play, and how we're gonna sample. If we don't really do samples, but how we're gonna make it sound like the sample.
And what do you listen to? Thinking about what you have in your in-ears when you're playing.
When I'm listening to basically everybody. I want to hear everybody because certain cues are for me, and I can, if a string is playing a line, I need to hear it, or if Tim is playing something on guitar, acoustic guitar, I need to hear it. So yeah, everything.
So many people who are watching us have seen one of the concerts, and you have a funny story to tell. This is kind of like behind the scenes, real life, when you're out there on the road and you're playing live, and you're now not in a 400-seater anymore.
Right.
You're in a stadium. Well, how do they pull off, one of the tricks of the show?
So, DW, you guys made some amazing drums for the tour. You made 2 kits actually for us. One was on the main stage, and then the other kit was either in the back or in the bathroom or
now, wait a minute.
else.
Explain that.
So, we had 2 sound systems. And so one sound system was in the middle of the floor. And if you've seen the show, she walks out to the middle of the show, in the middle of the arena, and is a different sound system. So I couldn't play drums from the first stage because it would be kind of like, in music terms, it's called bleed from the stage. So I had to walk off a stage and go play in the dressing room.
This is during the concert.
During the concert.
She sings a song, she walks out front to start another song.
Right. And I have seconds to get to the drum set in the back. It's either in the dressing room, a bathroom, or in a loading dock.
So they set it up someplace and mic it.
And mic it. And then I just play to the
So you put on your headphones,
Yep.
and you don't see anybody.
Don't see anybody.
And what are some of the what are some of the stranger places you've had to run to?
I ran into a boiler room before. I had to run there.
A boiler room.
A bathroom.
Okay.
Dressing room was really common, but the bathroom and the boiler room was probably the two of the most memorable.
So when you see Adele singing out in front, you'll know the drummer is somewhere.
Right, off stage in the bathroom.
Derrick could be back in the bathroom playing the drum track.
Yes.
And then what happens after that song happens? You got
I have to hurry up and run back and get back on stage.
Unbelievable.
Yes, so it was a pretty good workout because there's a lot of stairs and a lot of getting on the stage.
So this will be one of our good questions when we do like contests on Drum Channel. It's like, where is Derrick when Adele is out in front and singing a song?
Right.
What's the strangest place? I would say the answer would probably be the bathroom.
Yeah.
Where's the strangest place he ever was? Okay, we'll do that when we give something away. Any other interesting thing or strange things happen on the road with power going out or?
No, I mean, everybody saw when the Bug was in Australia and the Bug was on the stage, and she like she went crazy. We stopped the song. Nothing really strange, and it's just a whole lot of fun and just a whole lot of good times.
You play a set list every night, or does she sometimes vary that?
Sometimes it varies, but mainly the set is always the same.
And of all the songs, is there any that are particularly more challenging to you drum-wise than others?
No, not really. It's some songs I dig in a little bit more than others because it calls for it. I'll Be Waiting is one of those songs where it's just 16 and a hi-hat and kind of like a happy boom, boom, ah, boom, ba, boom, ah, one of those grooves. And I love playing that song. And nothing really challenging. It's just all about feeling and making it feel right.
And as we talked a little bit earlier, that's a big key to the longevity you have had with that gig.
Yes.
And in an average day, what's it kind of run like? I know a lot of people are really interested in what it's like out there on the road. When you get up, you get to this, what you do on your normal routine. How many gigs do you play in a week?
It's not that hard. On this tour that we just did, wasn't that hard because we were in places for 3 or 4 or 5 days because we were doing 2 shows or 3 shows in one place. So we would get in town, usually have a day off, and then the next day sound check, and do the show, go back to the hotel, rest, and then we don't have to do like a sound check again or like and not a real long sound check because we were just there. So we just really come in and just do a line check at that point and just get ready for the show again. And that's it.
So do you have much time to practice in between?
Yeah, in the set in the bathroom, I would practice all the time. I go in there and just play and just sit and just...
Oh, that you're set behind the scenes?
Yeah.
You mean the one you have behind the scenes?
Yeah,
because it's there the whole time, right?
Yeah, it's there the whole time, so they got to leave it set up. So I can just go there and just and just practice.
Perfect. That can't be better, actually.
Right.
For a lot of the young drummers out there, aside from the 2 Secrets of the Pros lessons that we have here, on the site, career-wise, and looking to they're in school, they're in college, I know you're self-taught, right?
Right.
Started in the churches, and then, which is, where music and feeling and everything became such an important part of your soul, I think. But the idea of making a living in the music business today, anything you would have to say to them that would be that you think would be important, or something that was important to you at a point at which you said, hey, I think I can get paid and actually do this.
Right. The most important thing is, and I don't want to sound like I'm coming down on anybody or any other young kids, it's not about the chops. It's about playing the gig and knowing how to play the gig. Some gigs call for chops, you know. Some gigs call for you to play the record just like the record, and I feel like longevity is for those, you know, those songs that you just got to play just like the record, and you're always gonna get called. You know, you're gonna get called because wow, that person, he knows his music, knows how to play it. You know, he makes it feel good, and he can play the music, or she can play the music.
One of the things I'm so proud of on Drum Channel is we do have the lessons from some of the master teachers of all time that will show you how to use your body, how to actually play the drums, how to get facility. Then the secret is not just to show you how to play 80 million things, you know, every single day that you can go ahead and work on,
right.
But it's how to musically take that, which is a quantum leap, I think, into becoming a true musician. Whatever your instrument is, you can master the instrument, but do you really, you know, can you express yourself musically through it?
Right.
Drums being one of the more physical instruments of all time, in essence, I think we are the instrument as human beings. The drum produces the sound, so
right.
It's even more important to some degree to build that facility so you can a little bit get out of your own way, if you know what I mean, and just let it kind of flow.
Yes.
Terry Bozzio obviously, you know, thinks about the way he approaches everything that way. It's let God, let go. Just like it's gotta. You can't think about, and the last thing you're thinking about is my sticking pattern.
Right.
You're just thinking about being able to hear something and reproduce it, and what you do so well, which is make it feel so good. So the next time you're out there and you happen to hear one of these concerts. And she's out in front, you'll know where Derrick is. But aside from that, when you actually see him up there on the stage, feeling what you're doing, I know you love it and live it. And I think that's why it's, you know, such an important part of your story to tell all the young drummers that are, you know, that are out there. And career-wise, anything that you're thinking, I mean, this, of course, is, you know, the quintessential part of your life, but your own band, anything else you have coming up in your mind that you want to do, other projects?
I mean, a lot of just producing and a lot of just studio work that I'm doing now. And I just want to touch on another thing about something that I want to tell the musicians that are coming up right now on the channel. If you can play the same thing over and over again, because that's what they're looking for too. They're looking for you to, all right, cool. You played that last night, you got to play that same thing this night. You got to be consistent. And the consistency is so important. I mean, I did 132 shows, and I played the same thing on Hello every show. And it's kind of like, you know, to the second, like, oh yeah, Derrick's getting ready to play that right there to the second. And, you know, and so that you can be so professional. That is so professional. And I'm not patting myself on the back or anything, but you have to learn how to do that to keep the gig and kind of like, so that you could be dependable too, because somebody out there is, or even sometimes Adele is looking for something that is familiar for that. And if you play something that's not familiar, you can throw the artist off. You can throw somebody else in the band that's, you know, off, that's looking for that. That's back at the hello from, they looking for that. So that's another important part.
And if it's done the way you do it, it's fresh every night.
Right.
Because, you know, the excitement isn't being a drummer, it's being part of the event, being part of the music.
Yeah, don't be a machine, but play the same part, but play with feeling. You could have a different feeling to it every night, but the same part.
Exactly.
You know, you just let it breathe through you.
Yeah, and I think especially when you're with a singer, they're often looking for what they're hearing in order to feel where they're coming in.
Exactly.
And that's probably equally even more important than if you're with another musician whose instrument is playing something, would be playing something, you know, maybe more technical. Well, thank you for coming by and sharing this. He has very few opportunities to be here on the West Coast, and just happened to have a few hours free in the afternoon and shot up here. And these are one of this is one of the many. I often say we have a lot of drum channel surprises, and you were surprised. But we're going to plan some stuff out next time. When you come
let's do it
and hang out with some friends here in town. Get a little drum jam going. Get some of the guys out here.
That would be amazing.
Well, let's plan on it. Let's just do it
with this new drum set here.
So hey, there you go. As it was just born too. You've seen it. You know, we're getting a lacquer high by sitting here. By the way, right out of the tank there.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Derrick. I really appreciate everything that you've done for the drumming community, what you bring to the instrument, and that you've taken time to be here with us. And let's get together with some friends and do a jam next time.
Yeah, that'd be great. That really would be really awesome.
We'll plan on it. We'll see you. We'll let you know when you do it. Come back and check, and you'll find out. There you go. Thanks, man.
No problem. Thank you.